is in full flow. Durga Puja and the Navratras, onto Dussehra and Diwali, and lots more in between. It's an exciting new few weeks to come. Those were the visuals of Navratra celebrations from different parts of India. Hello and welcome. I'm Samiksha Srivastava and this is Inside South Asia. Let's get started. India rolled out the second avatar of the General Sales Tax or GST this week, coinciding with the onset of the festival season. What it means is big savings, essentials turning tax-free, price drops on everything from cars and soaps to even insurance premiums. But beyond this, there's also the bigger story, what it means for businesses and for the Indian economy.
India's big tax cut is here. GST 2.0 is turning the festival spirit into a shopping season special. Groceries to gadgets and cars to insurance, prices are tumbling after the rollout of GST 2.0. Reports estimate total consumer savings of over 2 lakh crore rupees or $22 billion, triggering what the government is calling a GST savings festival.
GST 2.0 has revived consumer spending ahead of the festive season. Shoppers are seeing direct savings. Groceries and essentials are cheaper by up to 13%. Small car buyers are saving around 70,000 rupees and two-wheeler buyers about 8,000 rupees. Now, electronics, too, have turned more affordable, with TVS, refrigerators and air conditioners down 7 to 8%. And this comes as tax rates fell from 28% to 18%. Health and life insurance premiums are now GST-free, bringing an 18% direct saving for policyholders. Now, the biggest beneficiaries are FMCG, automobiles, construction, healthcare, and renewables. Fast-moving consumer goods now attract 5% GST, boosting festive demand. Automakers have slashed prices of up to 2.4 lakhs. In construction, Siemens GST cut is reducing housing and infrastructure costs by 3 to 5%. Healthcare too gains, with life-saving drugs GST-free and medical devices taxed at 5%. And renewable solar, wind and biogas equipment now attract 5% GST, cutting project costs significantly. Economists are watching closely to see if companies fully pass on benefits and how the changes influence inflation and the festive spending.
Ratings agency CRISIL says 1/3 of an Indian family's average monthly spend falls under categories that are now cheaper. Less tax means more money in hand and, at least in theory, more shopping power.
The new GST rates come into effect starting today, and we are looking at the daily household items have become cheaper. Now you have to pay literally 5% tax on these items compared to the 18 and 12% earlier.
Navratra has been started now. So we approach the Diwali festival. So we are expecting some good customers footfalls here with new sale and all inquiries and all.
Stakeholders in Jammu and Kashmir's tourism industry, agriculture and horticulture industry, as well as the handicraft industry, are thrilled with the new GST slab that has been introduced. Apple growers, carpet and pashmina shawl artisans and tourism stakeholders, including hoteliers, houseboat owners and restaurants in Jammu and Kashmir, have expressed immense relief.
From 28% to 18%, a 10% drop in rates of vehicles. This is expected to be a boost for this sector. We spoke to those from automobile showrooms and they tell us that over the last few weeks, there's been a significant increase, almost a 30% increase in footfalls that they're witnessing.
But there is the other side of the picture. The government faces a revenue squeeze, nearly $5.4 billion less this year in earnings. Some say the loss could be even higher. And experts say the Finance Ministry's compulsions to keep the fiscal deficit in check may force cuts in infrastructure spending. What it boils down to is it's a two-way street, the door swinging both ways. The GST 2.0 rollout has triggered a nationwide debate. Do states prioritize revenue or relief for consumers? Some point out big revenue shortfalls. Others talk of a surge in consumption, signaling strong demand across sectors. Fact is, the reforms are testing the balance between fiscal needs and economic growth.
Keeping with the festive spirit, here's a story on the iconic Jamdani saris from Bangladesh. The Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi hosted the first ever Jamdani exposition. Our correspondent Nikita Singh gets you more on this and other aspects of India-Bangladesh cultural diplomacy.
UNESCO has so rightly, it has declared Jamdani weaving as the intangible heritage of humanity.
I always feel very nice wearing a Jamdani sari.
I always have seen my mother is wearing different beautiful kinds of colorful Dhakai Jamdani. I really used to look at them.
Jamdani is one of the most prized hand-woven textiles originating in Dhaka. It's known for its fine fabric and intricate motifs. Now, it comes with generations of cultural pride and dignity. Preserving Jamdani is not just preserving the fabric, but the identity of an entire community of artisans. As India enters its festive season, Jamdani finds a very special place in celebrations. Jamdani is a vividly patterned fabric hand-woven on traditional looms by master weavers. The journey of Jamdani fabric from Bangladesh to modern-day fashion worldwide celebrates craftsmanship, tradition and innovation.
There are hundreds of motifs which have been revived, and some for the main body, some for the borders and some for the pallu. So all I can say is that this cloth made out of humble cotton has become so exalted, and it's a beautiful fabric and is very suited to our joint cultures, it's very suited to our climate.
Each motif is crafted directly on the loom using the discontinuous weft technique, making it one of the most labor-intensive textile traditions in the world. For the weavers, Jamdani is not just an occupation. It's an identity, a heritage, and a source of immense pride.
When the design part has come, and how many thread should be with this color that they calculate in their memory, they pick it up. And then this goes to the end and then return. The return means single thread. That way it comes in the end. And then the very much special craftsmen make, everybody cannot make this.
We have the festival season that's coming in India, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of buyers interested in buying these saris.
Especially West Bengal. Everyone is very much fascinating with the Jamdani textiles. Besides the West Bengal, other states, some people, they are always collectors. And if we think about 100 years before, how many collectors? Now the India's economy is growing up and up. And that way, art, culture, and then value of artisans, they also understand.
I am a Jamdani artisan. This craftsmanship, which originates from Bangladesh, is very famous. Our family has been involved in this art form for 3 generations.
In 2013, the traditional art of weaving Jamdani was declared a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity, and in 2016, Bangladesh received Geographical Indication or GI status for Jamdani sari. Today, the revival of Jamdani is being powered by global recognition and the enthusiasm of Indian buyers. With the festive season setting in, Jamdani saris are witnessing a fresh wave of demand, appealing to audiences who want them both for heritage and elegance in their wardrobes.
The way the weaver sits and weaves it, it's almost like a painter painting it. So I just saw even the weaver who's here. It's mind-blowing because there's so much of patience. And I think that's what festivity also teaches us, like to have that patience and purity and the strength.
You can wear it for a wedding, even then it'll look royal as well as something so graceful. And they're not so simple, but if you see them, the way they've woven the designs, it is like, sometimes I feel that the nature is woven into it also.
In these testing times, Jamdani saris have evolved as a bridge of cultural diplomacy between India and Bangladesh, reflecting shared heritage and future ambitions to keep this craft alive.
I think Jamdani will be sustained in a long, long time. Not for the global, in the Asian, India, Bangladesh and other neighbor country, they appreciate Jamdani weavers.
What is really craftsmanship? What is textile heritage? And how the techniques can be understood and the designs can be appreciated. So it's about sparking conversations between two peoples.
Indeed, they are South Asia's timeless craft of legacy and artistry.
The tangled legacy of America's longest war is in focus again. President Donald Trump is pushing for a shocking new move in Afghanistan. He wants US troops back at the Bagram Airbase. But the Taliban has a clear message for Washington: not an inch. The war of words has opened a new front in the complex geopolitical chess game, with Afghanistan at the heart of it.
August 2021, the end of America's 20-year war in Afghanistan. The withdrawal from Bagram, the largest US military base in the country, was the biggest symbol of that. In 20 years, the US lost nearly 20,000 of its soldiers, and all it really achieved was replacing the Taliban with the Taliban. 4 years on, President Donald Trump terms the withdrawal a mistake.
It should have never been given up. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. There was no reason to give it up. I was leaving Afghanistan. I was leaving. I was the one that got it down to 5,000 soldiers, but we were going to keep Bagram, the air base.
Trump has been even more blunt on social media, issuing a direct threat. He says the US should return to Bagram, and if the Taliban resists, bad things will happen. The Taliban's response was immediate and fiery, an act of aggression and violation of sovereignty, it said. Taliban's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi rubbished the idea, saying not 1 meter of Afghan land would be given.
It should be recalled that, under the Doha Agreement, the United States pledged that it will not use or threaten force against the territorial integrity or political independence of Afghanistan, nor interfere in its internal affairs. Therefore, it is necessary that they remain faithful to their commitments. Accordingly, it is once again underscored that, rather than repeating past failed approaches, a policy of realism and rationality should be adopted.
It goes back to the Doha Agreement of 2020 signed by the Trump administration 1.0 that laid the groundwork for the US pullout. The Taliban now says a US return would violate the very deal that ended the war. On the ground, the people hold bitter memories of American forces.
The U.S. invaded Afghanistan in a brutal manner, followed by 20 years of false and empty promises. They appeared in Afghanistan in the name of peace and democracy, but they fueled war and conflict here. Instead of benefiting from them, Afghans were harmed.
So why is Bagram so important? Simply put, it's a strategic gold mine. Its 2 long runways are capable of handling the largest military aircraft. It was the nerve center for US operations in the region. But today, its value is not about fighting the Taliban. For the Pentagon, Bagram isn't a tool for nation building. It's a key piece on the Eurasia Grand Chessboard. For the US now, Bagram's value is its geographic proximity to China's sensitive western Xinjiang region, home to key nuclear weapons programs and missile silo fields. The base is just an hour away from the Lop Nur nuclear test site. It would be a critical vantage point for advanced aerial and signal intelligence, allowing the US to monitor China's nuclear activities and military modernization efforts in the region. And beyond the China factor, Bagram would aid the US's counter-terror operations against groups like the ISIS Khorasan, enabling quick strikes in a region where ISIS-K has spread its influence. Bagram's location also provides a strategic reach into surrounding volatile regions, including Pakistan, Iran, and Central Asian states. Experts say Trump's Bagram demand amounts to a political bluff. A second military invasion would require a massive deployment of troops and resources to a country now firmly under Taliban control. Ultimately, this Bagram debate is a microcosm of a broader strategic shift in US foreign policy. Bases like Bagram are no longer about fighting insurgency, but about containing a growing tribe of geopolitical rivals and adversaries.
A wave of anger is sweeping across Pakistan over the horrific bomb attack in the country's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province carried out by its own air force. At least 30 people have been killed, with women and children among the dead. The Pakistan Air Force, using its China-made JF-17 jets, dropped 8 LS-6 bombs in the wee hours of Monday on a village in the Tehra Valley in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Disturbing pictures and videos from the incident site show scenes of devastation, with bodies strewn across houses and streets. The Pakistan military and establishment are silent on the incident. The chorus for a fair and impartial probe is resonating across the country. Pakistan's Human Rights Commission has demanded an immediate and impartial inquiry and measures to hold to account those responsible. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly Speaker said that the loss of civilian lives underscores the vulnerability of ordinary people in the country. Assembly Speaker Babar Salim Swati said, and I quote, "When the blood of our own people is made so cheap and bombs are dropped on them, it is a fire that can engulf everyone," unquote. Provincial Assembly Speaker Abdul Ghani Afridi called the tragedy a slap in the face of humanity that shook the very conscience of the entire region. The Pakistan military has long been trying to push back against the TTP's control of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, something that has only strengthened after the Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan in 2021. But in doing so, Pakistan forces have been repeatedly accused of targeting innocent civilians in the country. And up next, we tell you what else is making headlines in our Inside South Asia wrap.
India bids farewell to iconic singer Zubin Garg. His funeral took place with full state honours at Karamkuchi NC village in Assam's Kamrup district near Guwahati. Alongside thousands of grieving fans who gathered to bid farewell stood 4 of his pet dogs, brought in by Zubin's wife Karima and other family members. The canines were carried to the podium where his body was lying in a glass casket. Assam's Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma confirmed that the state government will build 2 memorials in his honour. According to Assam's Chief Minister, Zubin died in Singapore on the 19th of September due to drowning after he went swimming without a life jacket.
Bangladesh sees worst single-day surge in dengue cases. Dengue infections are climbing rapidly across Bangladesh, with health officials reporting the biggest single-day rise in both deaths and hospital admissions this year. On the 21st of September, 12 people have died. With the latest fatalities, the nationwide dengue death toll has risen to 179 since January. Hospitals in Dhaka and other major cities are struggling to cope with the influx of patients as thousands remain admitted with dengue fever. Doctors report that many cases are turning severe due to delayed treatment and a shortage of hospital beds.
The Indian Air Force retires its legendary MiG-21 fighter jets, marking the end of nearly 6 decades of service for the aircraft. Widely hailed as the workhorse of India's air defense, they have been part of the IAF's combat fleet since 1963. The supersonic jets were the dominant platform during the 1965 and 1971 wars with Pakistan. The aircraft also played a key role in the 1999 Kargil conflict, as well as the 2019 Balakot airstrikes.
That's all we have on the show this week. We leave you with visuals from the 71st National Film Awards, where Shah Rukh Khan received his first ever national award for Best Actor. Take a look at the highlights and I will see you next week.
जवान में अपनी सशक्त प्रस्तुति के लिए श्री शाहरुख खान चुने गए हैं सर्वश्रेष्ठ अभिनेता। आपको प्रदान किया जा रहा है राष्ट्रीय फिल्म पुरस्कार का सम्मान।
Shahrukh Khan, ladies and gentlemen, globally renowned actor and producer, delivers a powerhouse performance in Jawan, bringing all the enemies.
Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway में Ms. Rani Mukherjee के नाम।
Resilience, cultural conflict with piercing emotional clarity and unwavering authenticity.
सर्वश्रेष्ठ अभिनेत्री का पुरस्कार ग्रहण करते हुए 12th फेल में अपने अत्यंत जीवंत अभिनय से सबका दिल जीतने वाले अभिनेता श्री विक्रांत मैसी हैं सर्वश्रेष्ठ अभिनेता।
With raw honesty and emotional depth, the transformative journey, unstoppable to become an IPS officer.
श्री करण जौहर को सर्वश्रेष्ठ लोकप्रिय फिल्म रॉकी और रानी की प्रेम कहानी के लिए स्वर्ण कमल का पुरस्कार ग्रहण करने के लिए। दादा साहेब फाल्के पुरस्कार का सम्मान प्राप्त कर रहे हैं विख्यात एवं प्रतिष्ठित अभिनेता, 5 बार राष्ट्रीय फिल्म पुरस्कार विजेता, पद्म भूषण एवं पद्मश्री से सम्मानित श्री मोहन लाल जी। भारतीय सिनेमा में आपके अतुल्य योगदान के प्रति सम्मान है।
Unparalleled versatility. Artist cemented his legacy as a great master